What is going on, Panthers Nation? Carolina Dad here, your host of the Two Growls One Roar podcast. We are here today to talk about post free agency positional needs for the Carolina Panthers. And I know there's some folks out there that said, wait, what? Free agency, post free agency? I thought free agency was still happening. No, folks, free agency is like a whirlwind. It happens in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. Those are the major signings. You have one move and then a second move, and now you're going to see the stragglers, the sporadic signings that will happen from now until training camp, until after training camp, into training camp. That's it. It's done, folks. So yeah, we've got our Clowney sitting out there, Jadeveon Clowney, waiting to hear from him. I'm seeing some things that maybe the Jets aren't even going to, let him out of that place. No, he technically will be, but could be leaning towards Jets. So taking a look now. If you have not done this, and I've broken this down, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Let's take a look very quickly at the free agent acquisitions and some of the returning players that we signed before we talk about positional needs. We have J.J. Jansen coming back, securing the special teams unit. Done. Box checked. Amir Smith-Marset, adding another receiver who was already here, but bringing him back. Troy Hill, cornerback, adding depth there. Raheem Blackshear, third running back, kick returner. Deontay Johnson acquired via trade, hoping to be that weapon that Bryce desperately needs. Securing the interior offensive line with Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, adding on the defensive line with A'Shawn Robinson, adding more to the defense with Josie Jewell and cornerback Dane Jackson. DJ Wonham, outside linebacker from the Vikings, Jordan Fuller, safety, Kalavon Chasen, outside linebacker, Yash Nijman, swing tackle, wide receiver, David Moore, safety, Nick Scott. And if you go out to Sports Tracker over the cap, the Panthers have roughly 66 players under contract, 66 players. Remember, NFL teams will carry 53, have another 16 on the practice squad. They'll go into training camp with 90 players on the roster. 90 total players. So 66 today. If we stay where we are in the draft and draft all 7 guys, puts us at what? 73 total, which means, that spree of undrafted free agents that'll occur after the draft is what will shore up the roster. And then maybe another signing or two that comes about. Now, talking about the roster and where it is today, I like to do this every year. One, to prepare you, to prepare me, to know what the Panthers are going to be looking at. And maybe if you want to do a mock draft, your own mock draft, you know what you want to put together. And hey, like, oh yeah, I'm going to go out, I'm going to look at guys in this position group or this position group. So starting on the offensive side of the ball, I did 7 needs based off of the 7 draft picks. So number 1, you can make an argument for 2 things, but I'll say center. We absolutely need a center. You have the thought that Austin Corbett may work out. He may become the playmaking center that we need, but I say let's draft someone. Let's draft a center. Wide receiver would be the next position of need. Got to get another wide receiver, a playmaking wide receiver that will help elevate Bryce Young in this offense. Tying into that, I have a tight end. And again, love to see Tommy Trimble excel and, everyone that's on the roster, but I just don't know. Like, we're in year 3 or 4. Let's get a playmaking tight end for Bryce Young, and it doesn't have to be right early in the first rounds, maybe later. Another kind of plot twist is running back. You can probably make a case, well, maybe another offensive lineman, but we're carrying so many, kind of pass on that right now. The Panthers are bringing in running backs for top 30 visits. So sure, why not bring in a running back? Maybe later in the draft, but I do like the idea of, hey, why not? We've seen the shelf life of running backs and what that's been over the last 3 or 4 years, and all the running backs that were available in free agency and how quickly things move. On the defensive side of the ball, I have an edge, also known as an outside linebacker. Got to be number 1 on the list. Inside linebacker is up there as well. You bring on a Shaq Thompson, you bring on a Josie Jewell. You try to go get the other guy from Denver. He ended up going back to Denver. There's still a need at the inside linebacker position. Talk about losing Frankie. The depth On the inside linebacker position wasn't great last year as it is. Kamu gone as well. So I look to acquire an inside linebacker. Also have a cornerback on the list. Yes, we need a cornerback. That's my seven needs. So center, tight end, wide receiver, running back, edge, inside linebacker, cornerback. Seven positional needs. I'm going to use that in an upcoming video to go through another mock draft. Why not? I think you could make a case through this that, hey, well, maybe in a situation where, or there may be a situation where we decide, okay, yeah, we don't need a running back right now, or we still need a wide receiver, but you pair up or you double down on a cornerback, or you double down on edge, even though we brought on quite a few, or maybe you do double down on a wide receiver, or you pick up an interior offensive lineman. But yeah, that's my post free agency positional needs for the Carolina Panthers. Let me know if you think the same thing. And until next time, folks, I hope y'all have a good one. As always, keep pounding.